All right, Shalom Akim, all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Hawashai, Ba'ashim, Kakadash, double honor to the apostles of great millstone, salutation to you, Akim, doing the work of truth and sincerity. This is going to be a quick lesson, basically oldie but goodie, if you would call it that, basically proving, through the scriptures and other information that we are the Israelites. This is from the Jerusalem Post. Muhammad Hadid, Israeli Jews have no genetic connection to ancient Hebrews. This is an article made by him somewhere last year. Only thing is, he claims that the Palestinians are the real Jews or whatever. The thing about that, there may be some of those Palestinians that's actually Israelites. However, the majority of the Israelites are found here in America, known as negros, latinos, and natives. However, this title here is correct. The Israeli Jews have no genetic connection to the ancient Hebrews, and this he made this title because that was around the time they were doing those genetic testings, and the very reason why they made it against the law for the Israeli JOOs to get tested, to do genetics anymore, because they have no ancestry in that land. So I pulled up a couple TikToks, and if you know, this is what his name, Harry Rosenberg, if I'm not mistaken. He had a whole video on if the true Israelites were the Jakes that was out there preaching and prophesying in the camps. And of course, this is just a snippet of it. If you watch the whole video, you can probably still find it on YouTube. Maybe not. The Jewish people that were in this conference when he was speaking, they started walking out. And I'm going to play this, fair use.
This rabbi admits who the true Israelites are.
And where it gets interesting is, in America, there was a slave trade. And a lot of the slaves, a very high percentage of them, came from Western Nigerian ports. And in America today, you see a very large movement of African Americans who say that they're the real chosen people, that they're the children of Israel, they're the Judeans. So what are they just trying to create an identity for themselves because they were slaves, or is there really something here? And the answer is, most likely there is something there. And most likely, maybe that they were the original Israelites, and maybe that the Jewish people today, who are white, Caucasian people, came in a little bit later on.
Comment truth if you know who the true Israelites are, like this rabbi. If they know this, why is the lie still being spread? Ask Israelite bot these questions. Link in bio.
So, yeah, and that's a valid question. If they know this, why is the lie still being spread? And when you go to the Bible and go to Psalms, the 83rd chapter, and what does it say? Psalms 83:1, Psalm of Asaph. Keep not thou silence, O God, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. They have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, the so-called white man, and the Ishmaelites, the so-called Arabs of Moab, and Hagarenes, basically Chinese and Chinese and Africans, Ebal and Ammon. Ammon is the Japanese Amalek. Those are the JOOs today. And the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Selah. So basically, damn near every nation is against us, knowing who we are. That's why the secret to this day is kept. And I also brought up, from Babylon to Timbuktu, the AI overview. It says the book From Babylon to Timbuktu by Randolph R. Renzer discusses the history of black people, including the ancient Hebrews, and their dispersion throughout the world, including the places like Timbuktu. The book argues that black Africans were among the ancient Hebrews and that their history has been obscured and marginalized. It also touches upon the transatlantic slave trade and how it led to the scattering of the people of African descent with Hebrew heritage across the Americas. And you can type this in if you want yourself, or you can pause the video and read it all yourself. So when you look at the book From Babylon to Timbuktu, this is the cover of the book, and yes, I do own the book, because when the apostles was first bringing out all this information, hey, this is very good information to have. But anyway, when you read the book From Babylon to Timbuktu, it gives you all types of historical evidence as to why the claim of us being the Israelites is true. Everything is backed up by facts and readable historical evidence. Basically irrefutable evidence. I know you can't see the second side on this, but you can type in From Babylon to Timbuktu, and yes, the PDF file is online. You can read the entire book online. And I'm only going to read a couple of paragraphs from the book. Let's see. We're going to go down to page... Let's see. More. Page 84. And in the middle of page 84, it reads, in the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. That's from Rome and from the Americas. And it also says this on page 123. Let's see a little bit. A little bit too far down. There you go. On page 123, let's see if I can get it to fit. All right. Page 123. Like the black Jews in America, some of the Jews of Guinea don't remember their original nationality. This deplorable ignorance is attributed to various causes: the fall of the Hebrew kingdoms, the lack of communication with Jewish educational centers, intense persecution, and the deliberate blotting out of their mind their true nationality. Blotting out of the mind their true nationality. And that's why we don't know that we are the true Israelites. You go to the Bible as it is written. I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. The ones that saying they're Jews, the Israeli JOOs, they are not the real Jews. It's plain and simple. Then when you go to Revelations, let's see. Oh, you go to Revelations 3 and 9. What does it say? Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. And who do the Heavenly Father love? As it is written, Jacob have I loved, and Esau have I hated. Because those Amalekite Edomites are the ones that's calling themselves Jews right now. They're the chief house of Satan, the synagogue of Satan. Satan's physical counterpart are the Edomites, the so-called white people. And they're the chief house of the Edomites. So that's just one reason, or a few reasons why we know that we are the Hebrew Israelites. These are basically study tools, that we got from the apostles years ago when they first started teaching. And yes, it has to be, rehashed, so to speak, every now and then. So you brothers of the new generation to know. The videos are out there, And this is a good book to have. It's a great book to read. I've read the whole book years ago, So, but yeah, that's just another way to prove that we are the real Israelites, the true Israelites of the Bible. And those are just a few scriptures proving that, along with other evidence. So, with that, I hope you Akim were edified. Till the next time, all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to you Akim doing the work in truth, sincerity. Until the next time, Shalom.